In the rugged Klondike, Tony Beets, a seasoned gold miner, sought success. The latest season of Gold Rush portrayed his journey, showcasing the challenges and triumphs of Klondike gold mining. From smart investments to unexpected setbacks, we witnessed Tony and his team navigate the harsh terrain. Join us as we explore Tony Beets' latest mining venture, uncovering the determination and resilience that define Klondike legends. In the magnificent terrain of Klondike, Tony Beets emerges as an impressive character, expertly crafting a comprehensive and strategic plan to expand the extent of his gold mining activities.
We're aiming for the 5,000 ounces, and the way the gold price is right now.
His ambition begins with a bold extraction goal of 5,000 ounces, demonstrating his persistent drive to push the boundaries in search of success. Tony captures the opportunity given by the current peak in gold prices to turn this lofty goal into a highly profitable corporation, promising not only success, but a considerable million-dollar profit for himself and his loyal team. After systematically decreasing the more accessible pay dirt reservoirs of Paradise Hill, Tony turns with planning and determination towards the challenging terrains of Cold Cut and Blue Cut. These tough terrain, while demanding, have the potential for significant returns. The initial harvest, which is comparably low at 650 ounces, predicts the hidden wealth that Tony hopes to find through his measured and resourceful approach. As the journey progresses, the freezing Klondike winds whisper stories of persistence, ambition, and the unbreakable spirit that defines Tony Beets and his firm chase of Klondike gold. Tony used to be the owner of a 25-ton kiwi wash plant that had stood idle all season, rusting away. Tony organized Dominion Creek activities and assembled his expert crew. A minor mistake during travel encouraged an immediate assessment of the damage and a thorough strategy for resolving it. Tony encouraged his team with his persistent determination to recover gold from the soil. They worked together to lift and transfer the kiwi plant, despite the transportation incident, minimizing any potential harm. As they prepared to resume work on Shane's claim, the team's determination and steadfast commitment to success were clear, exhibiting the resilience that comes with pursuing accomplishment. Mike was now confronted with unexpected challenges in what should have been an easy and profitable 4-hour job. A damaged chain was the cause of the setback, which might have doubled the time required to complete the work. However, Mike and the crew were well aware that a significant $300,000 investment was riding on the success of this operation, which provided motivation to overcome the obstacles. Though the crew had planned for a smooth execution, things took an unexpected turn for the worse when one of the chains suddenly broke. Tony looked about in disbelief, assessing that there appeared to be no severe damage from the crash. The initial goal was to stabilize the plant and conduct a thorough assessment for any potential issues. Mike requested operator Brandon Carr to help him overcome the difficulty by carefully turning the plant back over. They employed loaders and chains expertly, combining the lifting operation with Tony's strategic direction. The goal was to locate the plant in the middle of the road so that it could be thoroughly evaluated and maybe realigned. The crew displayed determination and strong cooperation in the face of unexpected challenges, realizing that having the right equipment may make conquering obstacles simpler. Their hard work paid off when they raised the plant, recognizing that they could overcome unexpected challenges if they had the right tools. They eventually overcame the challenges and reached their destination 8 hours after leaving Paradise Hill. The arrival of the kiwi plant at Shane's Dominion Creek claim was a watershed moment. Tony's order to clear the area once the plant was safely unloaded resulted in a smooth transition, since the plant was perfectly positioned in its planned location. A water pump problem, however, posed a new hurdle and required a 2-day delay. Tony was waiting for a new 11-ton mega pump to be assembled before returning to cleaning the 80-pup cut for rich white channel money. The terrible timing compromised their chances of landing on good pay terrain. The teamwork required to move the new pump to the SLO pond highlighted their expertise and the critical relevance of their specialized equipment. Tony, in command of the operation, instructed Len and Mike on how to lift and set the pump. The crew's reliance on their equipment demonstrated how critical it was to their mining operations. They were excited to start the pump and go back to cleansing, but something went bad. Tony decided to use ether as a temporary solution after the engine failed to start. Despite the barriers and difficulties, the crew remained resilient. The search for gold at Paradise Hill shows the persistence required in the unsettled business of gold mining. Tony was irritated that the pump was not running, so he tried a boost with a pipe layer to increase power. Following Mike's strategies, the team added additional power, a starter, and fresh air to the pump. They tried everything, but the engine wouldn't start.
Then it goes to the place where it should be, but it's not running yet.
Leaving them frustrated for several days. Kevin then opted to use the pipe level to jumpstart the pump in a collaborative effort. The engine reacted flawlessly, and the entire operation went smoothly. As it became apparent that the new pump was in better condition than the previous one, relief spread.
That seems to be all good. Engine good.
Tony was looking ahead to the gold mining restarting now that the pump was back in operation. The crew's quick thinking and smart problem-solving kept them on track despite the minor setback. The group prepared for what had happened over the previous 4 days as the focus shifted to reviewing the results. The data after the gold was poured revealed a yield of 299.92 ounces, or $495,000. At this point, the season total had surpassed 3,000 ounces. Tony complimented the team's efforts and emphasized the successful outcome, despite the hurdles. Tony had more time thanks to Mike's productive employment, so they rented out ground to the Winchester lads for the Hunker Cut in an attempt to increase royalties. The Winchesters encountered difficulty in the famously difficult mining location known as the Cursed Cut. The problem was the thick black sand, which clogged the riffles and blocked the recovery of gold. Tony recommended switching to hydraulic riffles from expanded metal ones in order to increase efficiency. The Winchesters were trying to reach their 200-ounce season goal, so they had to figure out a way quickly. In their pursuit of this enormous goal, the mining team faces challenges imposed by Mother Nature, necessitating a demanding and delicate balancing act. Despite the inbuilt hurdles, the team has not only a large personnel, but also the necessary machinery to successfully manage this tough procedure. Tony sets the pace with determination, instilling a feeling of urgency in his son, Mike, by establishing a rigorous deadline for completely stripping the cold cut and blue cut down to bedrock, a critical step in the complex process of gold extraction. Mike, demonstrating outstanding leadership abilities, successfully clears 2/3 of the overburden, but is now working against a tight timetable to strip the remaining third. He balances tasks, managing one crew in the blue cut while directing another in the cold cut, and overseeing the loading of overburden into rock trucks. However, rising temperatures and softening ground pose immediate concerns, resulting in a dangerous position in which the vehicles risk being mired. Getting through these dangerous conditions requires a cautious and strategic strategy.
My name is Peter. I come from Friesland. I enjoy it a lot.
In response to these hurdles, Peter, a beginner to the Yukon mining environment, shows off his abilities by expertly operating a D6 dozer. His job is to manipulate melted mud at the cold cut dump site so that the rock trucks have a clear route. Despite their best efforts, an unexpected setback occurs when the D6 encounters a mechanical breakdown,
My track run off the D6. I need some help over here.
necessitating an emergency move to an alternative dump site half a mile away. This relocation disturbs the previously established workflow, resulting in delays in the systematic removal of overburden. Tony takes over, leading a coordinated effort to repair the D6's mechanical difficulties and carefully re-establish the track connection. Despite initial failures, the team successfully repairs the D6, allowing them to restart operations at the old dump location. This quick resolution allows for a faster reduction of overburden, putting them back on schedule to meet their gold extraction objectives. With renewed energy, both the cold cut and blue cut are successfully opened up, allowing for a smooth back-and-forth flow of activities. The team goes through a series of highs and lows, including the unexpected removal of the track from the D6. However, their persistence wins, and the mining plant continues to run well. Despite coming 38 ounces short of the lofty 5,000-ounce target, the team's persistent commitment results in a valuable haul totaling $318,000. This result demonstrates their resilience in the face of hardship and their ability to handle the uncertain world of gold mining in Yukon. Parker faces an intimidating challenge, setting high ambitions for his crew, mine the entire claim in one season while facing the potential of losing money in just 2 short weeks. Because of the large amount of ground that must be covered, this season is more intense than prior years. To negotiate this difficult terrain, moving operations over Bourbon becomes an essential tactic. However, a setback impedes Parker's progress. The super conveyor malfunctions, placing him substantially behind schedule. Before reaching the desired pay dirt, another 200,000 yards of overburden must be removed. Parker examines Tony's side, determining the best location for this extra material. Parker explores the waters of collaboration, given that they share water licenses and Tony still has some time on his. Dumping dirt on a neighbor's property without permission is a difficult situation, but Parker is practical and eager to make a deal. With the majority of the overburden removed from the cluster cut, the final obstacle stands at the eastern edge, abutting Tony's abandoned rights. To speed up the procedure and meet the 2-week losing deadline, Parker considers shifting the remaining overburden onto Tony's ground as a short-term remedy. Parker launches the strategy, emphasizing the importance of moving across 100 feet of the section, dropping to the pay, to handle their problems in the cluster cut. The urgency is visible, and the crew activates, hoping to find gold sooner than expected. Despite the possibility of Tony's future displeasure, the current priority is to transport the stuff efficiently. Parker's excavator spreads the boundary between Tony and Parker's land, causing nervous tension as it transfers soil onto Tony's area. An unexpected occurrence occurs when Tony notices a significant amount of dirt being pushed onto his plot. Initial annoyance builds in, but Tony, faced with a dilemma, avoids confrontation. Despite the less advantageous terms, Tony chooses to follow the commitment because he values being a good neighbor. With only 2 hours left on the clock, Parker and his colleagues work hard to shift the significant burden. The entire crew, including mechanics, works hard to fulfill the tight deadline. The deployment of the massive 480 excavator is critical in moving the overburden efficiently. As the clock counts down, a hiccup occurs. Parker's excavator loses a track. Parker attempts a daring leap while stuck with no track and a midnight deadline. Navigating the 58-ton excavator into his side of the line, just in time, the unusual technique keeps him on his side, yet inside the limits of his claim. It is a near call in their race against the clock, highlighting the enormous risks of their mining activities. The team's dedication to conquering obstacles is further demonstrated as they attentively address each issue that emerges. Despite initial disappointments, their collaborative effort to refine techniques and use extra equipment demonstrates a problem-solving approach. Tony's leadership shines through as he navigates the operation's complexity. His hands-on attitude and ability to make informed decisions help the team achieve success. The group's wide skill set, ranging from handling winches to handling heavy equipment, ensures a thorough and dynamic approach to issue solving. The story digs into the complexities of operating machinery under diverse settings, such as coping with soft sand and the changing dynamics of a riverbank. The team's resilience shines through, capturing the essence of their daily activities in the mining business. As the operation progresses, the narrative depicts the ever-changing nature of their working environment. Weather conditions, unexpected challenges, and the necessity for constant modifications highlight the unpredictability of their mining venture. The snowfall complicates matters, but the crew remains determined to succeed. The incorporation of precise information, such as Monica, Kevin, and the rest of the team working together, enriches the plot. The cooperation required for actions like moving the barge over and situating it in the water demonstrates the team's cohesion and the precision required for these operations. The inclusion of Tony's perspective and decision-making process adds a human touch to the story, allowing everyone to empathize with the team's struggles and achievements. The emphasis on safety measures, effective communication, and adjusting plans in response to real-time feedback adds to the narrative's believability. In essence, the prolonged story portrays the diverse character of the team's work, from strategic planning to hands-on implementation, all against the backdrop of constantly shifting weather and climatic conditions. It offers a complete picture of the team's everyday hardships and victories, making their mining adventure an engaging tale of endurance and flexibility. As the trommel starts its rhythmic operation, the Paradise Hill mining crew breathes a collective sigh of relief. The mechanical rebirth is more than just restoring equipment, it is a new source of money, a lifeline for the crew and Tony. The financial consequences of the extended outage, which resulted in a significant loss of roughly $200,000 in potential gold, increased the pressure to rebound quickly and achieve the tough 4,500-ounce season target. The story digs deeper into the complications of managing aging machinery in the demanding world of gold mining. Tony's realistic decision to prioritize maintenance, despite the inherent costs and time limitations, demonstrates the delicate balance between current operational needs and the essential to ensure the mining venture's long-term profitability. Despite the difficulties, the group demonstrates an undeniable feeling of resilience and solidarity. The unplanned repair involving the ingenious gear switch illustrates their adaptability and resourcefulness, transforming barriers into opportunities for creative problem-solving. The challenges they experience serve as a melting pot, shaping a team that not only survives but thrives in the uncertain world of the mining sector. The reunion of the 30-foot conveyor is more than just a mechanical duty. It represents the renewal of drive in the operation. The trommel's successful revival is a monument to the crew's unflinching dedication, demonstrating their capacity to overcome hardships and representing the persistent spirit required in the never-ending pursuit of gold. In the face of uncertainty, the Paradise Hill crew carry on, encouraged by the potential of attaining their season objective and rebounding from financial difficulties. The story depicts not only the technical aspects of gold mine, but also the human components of perseverance, teamwork, and an unwavering will to thrive in a difficult and unpredictable environment. Tony Beets' hunt for Klondike Gold is driven by a powerful combination of ambition and big money. With an amazing $5 million worth of equipment, he sees this season as the beginning of his most major gold harvest in over 4 decades. His clever move in the struggle for important ground puts Tony to capitalize on current gold prices, sparking his anticipation for what he believes will be his most successful season yet. Tony plans to harvest 9,000 ounces of gold with an expanded ship and a 3-fold increase in iron. Despite the repayments and equipment procurement, he remains confident that this significant investment will produce returns that exceed the aggressive 9,000-ounce aim. Tony's calculated gamble not only inspires optimism, but also promotes an environment of excitement and anticipation. To speed up the mining operation, Tony uses water monitors, a time-tested technology for efficiently washing away soft dirt. This strategy is not only effective, but it adds a sense of joy and unity to the operation. However, a hiccup in the mining operation occurs when the engine's throttle handle comes off, reducing water pressure and obstructing mining efficiency. In a display of extraordinary inventiveness, Tony uses a simple yet creative solution to secure the throttle handle with a handful of zip ties. This enhancement breathes fresh life into the business, demonstrating the fortitude required in the difficult industry of gold mining. During the festivities, Tony announced the crew's bold, season-long goal, 5,000 ounces of gold. Despite an early production of 828 ounces from 2 large cuts on Paradise Hill, Tony conceded that more dirt from certain areas needed to be treated. As time ran out, Tony offered Lisa and James permission to bring their vehicles and move pay soil. Aware of the passage of time, he emphasized the importance of seizing any opportunity to harvest gold, even if it meant taking calculated risks. To keep rubbish tailings from accumulating near the trail's termination, Eric E. Jolia was tasked with regulating them in the meantime. However, Eric's excavator became stuck, which caused a number of troubles and piling tailings. Tony, sensing the urgency, assigned responsibility for finding a solution to Mike. When hydraulic fluid poured from the 460, forcing a brief shutdown, the problems persisted. When Kevin was brought in to investigate, he discovered that the issue was caused by a missing O-ring. The excavator's ability to function again following the repair highlighted how a tiny component may have an immense effect on the complete machine. Despite the hurdles, Tony remained firm in his quest to accomplish the 5,000-ounce goal. However, a week of delays and closures due to frozen ground in the Swallow Cut resulted in lower gold production than expected. Being practical about the nature of the industry, Tony recognized that overcoming difficulties was required to truly experience success. Even if the yield was lower than expected, he emphasized the significance of each ounce recovered, recognizing that even on difficult days, every gold deposit adds value to the eventual goal. In the face of adversity, Tony's realistic attitude succeeded, admitting that present circumstances may not align with their goals. Even after a few disappointments, he maintained his upbeat attitude about hunting for new chances when he returned, underlining the basic purpose of getting 5,000 ounces of gold. As Tony bid farewell to his staff, an obvious sense of optimism engulfed him, his happy manner reflecting a firm certainty that success was on the way. With unshakable confidence, he informed the crew that, despite any initial challenges, their united determination will propel them forward. The difficult goal of retrieving 5,000 ounces served as the unrelenting focus of their efforts, a beacon directing their every move. Tony's final comments were imbued with a contagious attitude of endurance, laying the groundwork for a journey in which adversities were viewed as stepping stones to the coveted peak of achievement. As the season progresses, Tony's white channel technique proves successful, displaying potential gold yields. His fantasy of a record-breaking season, which was originally hampered by setbacks, gradually gained traction. The mining narrative skillfully depicts the accomplishments and setbacks, providing a realistic insight of the changing character of the sector. However, the pursuit of the ambitious 9,000-ounce target encounters a hurdle when Tony's plan for a rapid financial boost, involving the sale of his fleet of barges, falls through. Unshaken, he confronts more pressure to carry out his vision, stressing the unpredictability of gold mining projects. Despite all the surprises and turns, Tony stays resilient and focused on the objective. The season finishes in a stressful gold reveal in which Tony falls short of his original objective, but still collects an impressive 39.94 ounces. The Beach family celebrates their best-ever gold season, paving the way for future undertakings and a renewed pursuit of Tony's high aspirations. The Riches Rush narrative, with its mix of high-stakes decisions, imaginative problem-solving, and the never-ending search for riches, reflects the strong spirit that distinguishes Klondike legends like Tony Beets. This account demonstrates the ongoing appeal and challenges of the Klondike Gold Rush. As the Indian River business unfolds, Tony Beets's careful script becomes a tribute to the excitement surrounding the reopening of this potentially extremely profitable venture, with a yield of about $10 million this season. The orchestration of preparations, encouraged by the approaching issuing of his water permit, creates a palpable sense of exhilaration. Tony's measured approach is highlighted by the immaculate coordination on site, as evidenced by the carefully planned positioning of equipment in the sand. Every move, from the utilization of 3 hose to the 3 rock trucks that are already stationed at Indian River, improves the operation's precision. The slow accumulation of machinery proceeds smoothly, led by Tony's astute judgment on when it has reached a sufficient threshold. Amidst this efficiency, a radio communication adds an unexpected twist, introducing an element of unpredictability. The voice on the radio encourages Tony to go to the office and make a call to the water board. This unexpected discovery casts a pall over the long-awaited licensing process, bringing a moment of truth after 2 years of waiting. In this important moment, Tony addresses the realities of probable setbacks by speaking with the team. The evolving discussion reflects Tony's tension and anticipation as he discusses the outcome with the staff. The approaching threat of removing all the precisely placed equipment adds weight to the issue, as Tony struggles with the disappointment that could be experienced not only by himself, additionally by the entire team, including the kids. In his never-ending hunt of Klondike gold, Tony Beets arranges a high-stakes operation on the Indian River, deliberately investing over $5 million in cutting-edge equipment and devoting months to team organization. This ambitious investment spans 800 acres of promising, gold-rich land, with Tony expecting a big return of nearly $10 million for the season. Despite these great intentions, a 3-week calm develops as the machinery idles, reliant upon the awaiting Indian River water permission. The lack of this critical license exacerbates the financial strain, with potential monthly losses ranging from $2.5 to $3 million. The deferred permit threatens Tony's bold aim of 9,000 ounces for the season, emphasizing the importance of obtaining the license as quickly as possible. During this delay in the Indian River business, Tony relies on Mike's 30-year-old trommel on Paradise Hill as his primary source of gold. Mike, family friend Ruby Mahoney, and companion Megan Gadet make a strong squad, affectionately called the Dream Team. However, Monica's absence on maternity leave complicates and challenges the ongoing activities. During the mining operations, a mechanical hitch occurs. An outdated distributor threatens to halt the entire plant's operation. A stick is cleverly pushed into the distributor and secured with a bit of silicone, providing a smart but unconventional solution. This temporary fix demonstrates the pragmatic attitude required to overcome hurdles in the challenging domain of gold mining, assuring the continuity of operations. As Tony expertly navigates these hurdles, the story effortlessly returns to the suspenseful waiting game for the Indian River license. The stakes mount as Tony considers probable failures, highlighting the financial consequences of each day without the anticipated permit. Despite the losses, a ray of optimism appears when the team successfully removes gold from the nugget cut. Kevin, who is in charge of operations during Monica's absence, meticulously reports the weekly yield, contributing significantly to the overall season total. The difficult effort continues, with Tony still a long way from accomplishing his ambitious 9,000-ounce target. The season progresses into a gripping tale of unshakable determination, creative problem-solving, and measured risk-taking in the never-ending search for Klondike gold. The graphic depiction of the mining industry's unpredictability emphasizes Tony Beets' unwavering resolve and his team's incredible endurance in the face of severe obstacles. In his pursuit of Klondike gold, Tony Beets faces a serious setback when a critical water pump required for mining operations fails. This unexpected two-day outage poses a serious threat to the profitable venture, especially as they dip into promising white channel pay in the 80 pup cut. Tony emphasizes the importance of quickly operationalizing the new 11-ton mega pump so that filtering may resume without losing any of the valuable gold they've targeted. The delicate procedure emerges as a coordinated effort, with Tony, Mike, and the team working together to transport and carefully position the mega pump near the sluice pond. The detailed navigated demonstrates the team's reliance on specialist equipment as well as their constant devotion to completing duties precisely in order to avoid losing the costly gold. As the team prepares to start the pump, a distinct sense of expectancy fills the air. Tony's eagerness is apparent as he excitedly anticipates viewing the mega pump in operation. However, unexpected obstacles develop when the engine refuses to start despite several efforts. Tony resorts to using ether to accelerate the engine, adding irritation and suspense to the story. Despite their best attempts, the pump's engine is stubbornly unresponsive. Tony takes additional precautions, injecting more power into the startup process. The tension rises as the team works together to jumpstart the pump, injecting a sense of urgency into the mining operation. Finally, a collaborative effort incorporating air, a new starter, and an injection of more power is effective in reactivating the pump. A noticeable sense of relief washes over the team as the pump roars back to life, introducing the triumphant return of mining operations on Paradise Hill. With the pump back in service, Tony and his colleagues can concentrate their efforts on the gold extraction process. They labor diligently to restore missed time and assess the salary from the 80 pup cut. The anticipation builds in a telling moment when they measure the gold yield, adding to their continued pursuit of a 5,000-ounce weekly target. Despite the initial setback, the tenacious Beets crew recovers nearly 500 ounces from the 80 pup cut in just 4 days. Tony appreciates the favorable outcome and is optimistic about leasing the estimated 5,000 ounces per week from the location. As the team navigates the uncertain world of gold mining, Tony considers the value of expecting the unexpected. The dynamic exchanges and collaborative problem-solving highlight the resilience required in the harsh Klondike gold mining environment. Despite the hurdles, Tony realizes the importance of having a skilled team, particularly Mike's contributions, which allow him more free time to design and monitor the operation's larger aims. The story captures the roller coaster of highs and lows of the mining experience, stressing the unpredictable nature of the gold-seeking attempt. To inspect the damage, Tony Beets' crew begins the complex operation of disassembling the trommel. The coordinated operation entails lifting components such as the conveyor and a big 40-ton barrel, demonstrating the team's reliance on specialized equipment and precise positioning. The purpose is to inspect the machinery and assess the feasibility of repairs, with a particular emphasis on a visible crack that presents a substantial difficulty. The barrel has been untouched for more than a decade and shows significant wear, including a noticeable break that runs through a key portion. The magnitude of the damage raises questions about its repairability. The team is motivated to investigate alternative solutions, but the cracks in the welds and the overall state of the apparatus present significant challenges. Despite the team's best efforts, including a proposal for multiple welders to work concurrently, the scope of the repairs necessary appears insurmountable during the remaining season period. Tony recognizes the need for a larger workforce and more time investment, which leads to the decision to suspend trommel repairs for the season. Kevin, the mastermind behind arranging machine repairs, openly discusses the daunting hurdles of managing the substantial repairs required. The stark fact dawns on them: their gold mining season is cut short due to the trommel's irreparable state. In an unexpected turn of circumstances, Tony's group shifts their focus to the ultimate gold way, which represents the culmination of months of hard work. The Beets, along with Ruby and cousin Mike, gather for this important time. Tony comments on the season, expressing concern about the crew's return next year, while also praising their collaborative efforts. This bittersweet moment captures the highs and lows of their mining odyssey, marking the end of one chapter with a mix of contemplation, anticipation, and a deep sense of accomplishment. The moment arrives with a climax of anticipation as the gold is methodically weighed. Tony's brave tactic, the glory hole, proves to be a brilliant move, generating an incredible amount of gold that well exceeds their ambitious record aim. The season ends with an impressive total of 5,195 ounces of gold, establishing a historic milestone for the Beets, a triumphant $9 million season. Among the celebrations, Tony recognizes the significance of locating a profitable gold mine on the hill. This unexpected triumph not only provides a financial windfall, but also acts as a strategic asset, perhaps permitting critical repairs and preparations for the upcoming season. In a humorous chat, Tony mulls over how to spend the significant earnings, hanging the possibility of a trip to Mexico. The season ends with a sense of success, hope, and eagerness for future activities. As Mike and Kevin reflect on their first year as leaders, they are pleased with their overall success. The choice is taken to end the season and travel to Mexico, leaving behind the tough Klondike conditions. The narrative concludes with a reminder to watch more Gold Rush programs on Discovery Australia. In the uncertain world of Klondike gold mining, Tony Beets and his crew confronted obstacles that tested their talents and perseverance. The unrepairable trommel brought an abrupt end to their mining season, requiring them to divert their attention to the last goldway. Despite uncertainty regarding the crew's return next year, the Glory Hole produced an amazing 5,195 ounces, securing the Beets' first $9 million season. The season depicted the highs and lows of gold mining, from complex machinery repairs to the excitement of discovering a rich gold find. The Beets' tenacity and persistence triumphed, underscoring the unpredictable nature of their endeavor. As the season comes to an end, Tony's thoughts turn to future repairs and preparations. The financial success serves as a buffer and prompts fun discussions about how they spend the significant profits, including a lighthearted remark of a trip to Mexico. The story concludes with Mike and Kevin reminiscing on their first year in leadership and expressing satisfaction with the crew's performance. The decision to travel to Mexico marks a well-deserved break from the tough Klondike weather. In the world of gold mining, each season is a dynamic adventure full of challenges, victories, and the promise of new prospects. The Beets' journey exemplifies the perseverance required in the search of Klondike gold, laying the groundwork for whatever trials and accomplishments the following season may bring. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and follow us for more content like this.